prayers of our Divine Mother. Our Divine Mother says at the very moment when everything seems to go from bad to worse, it is then that we must make a supreme act of faith and know that the grace will never fail us. With always our love and blessings, says our Divine Mother. Sri Aurobindo's Savitri, Book 3, the Book of the Divine Mother, Canto 3, The House of the Spirit and the New Creation, page 363. As one who sets his sail towards mystied shores, driven through huge oceans by the breath of God, the fathomless below, the unknown around, his soul abandoned, the blind star feet. Space. Afar from all that makes the measured world, plunging to hidden eternities, it withdrew back from mind's foaming surface to the vast, voiceless within us in omniscient sleep. Above the imperfect reach of word and thought, beyond the sight, the last support of form, lost in deep tracts of subconscient light, or voyaging in blank, featureless nothingness. Soul in the trackless incommensurable, or past not self and selflessness, transgressing the dream shores of conscious mind, he reached at last his sempiternal base. On sorrowless heights, no winging cry disturbs, pure and untouched above the mortal plane is spread the spirit's hushed, immobile air. There no beginning is, and there no end. There is the stable force of all that moves. There the aeonic laborer is at rest. There turns no keyed creation in the void, no giant mechanism watched by a soul. There creaks no fate-turned huge machinery. The marriage of evil with good within one breast, the clash of strife in the very clasp of love, the dangerous pain of life's experiment in the values of inconsequence and chance, the peril of mind's gamble, throwing our lives as stake in a wager of indifferent gods, and the skirting lights and shadows of the idea falling upon the surface consciousness, and in the dream of a mute witness soul, creating the error of a half-seen world where knowledge is a seeking ignorance, life's steps a stumbling series without suit, its aspect of fortuitous design, its equal measure of the true and false in that immobile and immutable realm, find no access, no cause, no right to live. There only reigns the Spirit's motionless power, poised in itself through still eternity, and its omniscient and omnipotent peace. Words of our Lord Sri Aurobindo and the Divine Mother, taken from the compilations of the works book, The Lesson of Life. Sri Aurobindo stated in Letters on Yoga in volume 24 on 4th of April, on 21st of April 1933, and stated, "It is the lesson of life that always in this world everything fails a man, only the divine does not fail him if he turns entirely to the divine. It is not because there is something bad in you that blows fall on you. Blows fall on all human beings because they are full of desire for things that cannot last and they lose them. Or even if they get, it brings disappointment and cannot satisfy them. To turn to the divine is the only truth in life." Our Divine Mother stated on 11th of Feb 1934 and stated, "The Buddha has said, there is more joy in one desire conquered than in a thousand desires satisfied." On 11th of March 1934, our mother said, "Shadi, the Persian poet, has said, contemplate the mirror of your heart and thou shalt taste little by little a pure joy and unmixed peace." Our Divine Mother says, "The mind constructs its own abode directly, falsely from the beginning. It thinks in erroneous ways and endangers its own distress. Thought creates for itself its own suffering." Our Divine Mother says on 8th of November 1934 and says, "The Mahayana teaches thus, when the disciple considers an idea, sees rise in him bad or unhealthy thoughts, thoughts of covetousness, hatred, or error, he should either turn his mind away from that idea or concentrate it upon a healthy thought, or else examine the fatal nature of the idea or analyze it and decompose it into different elements, or making appeal to all his strength and applying the greatest energy, suppress it from his mind. These are removed and disappear, these bad and unhealthy ideas, and the mind becomes firm, calm, unified, full of vigor." On December 21st, 1934, our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, "There's no great pride and glory than to be a perfect instrument of the Master. Be conscious first of thyself within, then think and act." Sri Aurobindo says, "Immortality, unity, and freedom are in ourselves and await their discovery, but for the joy of life, God in us will still remain the many." Sri Aurobindo says, "Those who are poor, ignorant, ill-born, or ill-bred are not the common herd. The common herd are all who are satisfied with pettiness and average humanity." Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, "Love is the keynote, joy is the music, power is the strain, knowledge is the performer, the infinite all is the composer and audience. We only know the preliminary discords, who are as fierce as the harmony shall be great, but we shall arrive surely at the fuge of the divine beatitudes." Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, "What I cannot do now is the sign of what I shall do hereafter. The sense of impossibility is the beginning of all possibilities." Our Lord says, "There is no more benumbering error than to mistake a stage for the goal or to linger too long in the resting place." Patience, says our Lord, is our first great necessary lesson. Patience is our first great necessary lesson, but not the dull slowness to move of the timid, the skeptical, the weary, the slothful, the unambitious or the weakling, a patience full of a calm and gathering strength, which watches and prepares itself for the hour of swift great strokes, few but enough to change destiny. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, God has all time before him and does not need to be always in a hurry. Immortality and freedom are in ourselves and await there our discovery. In all these things, there is a meaning, and for all these contradictions, there is a release. Our Divine Mother says, Prayer of 31st Midnight. We surrender to Thee this evening all that is artificial and false, all that pretends and imitates. Let it disappear with the year that is at the end. May only what is perfectly true, sincere, straight, and pure subsist in the year that is beginning. Our Divine Mother says, when one discovers the enigma of a single atom, one can see the mystery of all creation that within us, as well as that without. Sri Aurobindo says, when we have passed beyond enjoyings, then we shall have bliss. Desire was a helper, desire is the bar. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, when we have passed beyond individualizing, then we shall be real persons. When we have passed beyond individualizing, then we shall be real persons. Ego was a helper, ego is the bar. And Lord Sri Aurobindo continues to say, all would change if man could once consent to be spiritualized. The spirit is the truth of our being. Mind, life, and body in their imperfection are its mass, but in their perfection should be its mounds. All religions have saved a number of souls, but none yet has been able to spiritualize mankind. Distrust a perfect seeming success, but when having succeeded, thou findest still much to do, rejoice and go forward, for the labor is long before the real perfection. Our Divine Mother says, one should destroy through deep meditation the qualities that are contrary to the divine earth. Thought is difficult to control, light running where it will. To master it is very helpful, for mastered it brings happiness. As in a house with a good roof the rain cannot penetrate, so into the concentrated mind passion cannot enter. Patanjali says our Divine Mother, when concentration becomes natural and easy, a power of accurate discrimination begins to develop. We read in the Upanishad, says our Divine Mother, the mind and senses are like a chariot drawn with wild horses. The wise man is careful to keep them well under rein. Be master of thy thoughts, O thou who strivest after perfection. Sri Aurobindo says, the divine gives itself to those who give themselves without reserve and in all their parts to the divine. For them, the calm, the light, the power, the bliss, the freedom, the wideness, the heights of knowledge, the seas of Ananda. The greater the aspiration and concentration, the more one finds the eternal. Our Divine Mother says, if we go a little way within ourselves, we shall discover that there is in each of us a consciousness that has been living throughout the ages and manifesting in a multitude of forms. When you sit in meditation, you must be as candid and simple as a child, not interfering by your external mind. Expect nothing, insist on nothing. Once this condition is there, all the rest depends upon the aspiration deep within you. And if you call upon the divine, then too you will have the answer. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, in the end, a union, a closeness, a constant companionship in the soul with the divine, and yet more wonderful oneness and living. Our Divine Mother says, one divine consciousness is here, working through all these beings, preparing its way through all these manifestations. At this day, it is here at work upon earth more powerfully than it has ever been before. Our Divine Mother says, see how outer circumstances are of little importance. Be more supple, more trusting. It is in the calm of the deep waters that is found the only possibility of true service. Torment thyself not. Torment thyself not, child. Silence, peace, peace. A prayer. May all escape from the ordinary consciousness and be delivered from the attachment for material things. May they awake to the knowledge of Thy divine presence, unite themselves with Thy supreme consciousness, taste the plenitude of peace that springs from it. Taken from Prayers and Meditations, Feb 1914.